Rajon Rondo has had a long and illustrious career.
His talent was so big that he has more playoff assists than Steve Nash and Steph Curry.
However, just months after people were considering if it was time for him to retire, this happened.
And we're following more breaking news. Former Celtics and NBA player Rajon Rondo has been arrested following a traffic stop in Indiana.
However, this will not be the first time that Rajon Rondo will be making the news for something other than his basketball skills.
Called Kennedy a gay slur, two sources told ESPN. The NBA subsequently suspended Rondo for one game.
Now that he has been arrested, more revelations are coming out that will shock you. Here is Rajon Rondo's message in court: arrested. It was a seemingly ordinary day in Indiana when the news of Rajon Rondo's arrest reverberated through the basketball community.
Officials say the 37-year-old was allegedly driving recklessly and was pulled over by a trooper.
Little did anyone know that this reckless driving would lead to a series of shocking discoveries. Rondo, who was behind the wheel of a sleek black 2022 Tesla, caught the attention of a vigilant trooper on that fateful day. Concerned for the safety of other drivers on the road, the trooper wasted no time in pulling over the vehicle. What seemed like a routine traffic stop quickly escalated into something far more serious. As the trooper approached the Tesla, a pungent smell of marijuana wafted through the air, raising suspicions of illegal activity. The trooper decided to conduct a search of the vehicle. What he uncovered would send shockwaves through the basketball world and beyond. To his astonishment, the trooper discovered not only marijuana, but also paraphernalia and a firearm in Rondo's possession. However, if that was all, then it would have been easy to shake off, but there was more.
The NBA said it's in the process of gathering more information after Rajon Rondo allegedly threatened a woman and brandished a gun at her house last week in Louisville while two children were present. The woman was granted an emergency protective order against Rondo on Friday.
According to reports, the incident occurred on May 11th last year when Rondo was playing video games with their son. It was during this seemingly innocent moment that a simple request from his girlfriend, Ashley Batchelor, to separate laundry sparked a sudden and explosive reaction from Rondo. Witnesses claimed that Rondo became enraged, ripping the game console out of the wall in front of their child. The distressing scene left their children visibly upset, prompting Batchelor to step in and try to de-escalate the situation. However, instead of diffusing the tension, Rondo responded with a chilling death threat, allegedly uttering the words, "You're dead." The gravity of the situation cannot be understated. Batchelor, fearing for her safety and that of their children, took immediate action and filed a protective emergency order against Rondo. This legal measure was granted by a judge in Louisville, ensuring that Batchelor and their son and daughter are protected from any potential harm. Then fast forward to January this year, it looks like Rondo is not doing much to distance himself from negative news.
It started with troopers getting calls about a reckless Tesla on I-65 in Bartholomew County. One trooper clocked him at 100 miles an hour and says the car didn't have a license plate.
Rondo, now in the custody of the Indiana State Police, was charged with multiple offenses.
According to court records, Rondo has been charged with unlawful carrying of a handgun, possession of marijuana, and possession of paraphernalia.
After being taken into custody, Rondo was transported to the Jackson County Jail, where he awaited his day in court. However, his time behind bars would be short-lived. Upon paying a bond, Rondo was released, but the legal battle was far from over. For Rondo, a four-time NBA All-Star and a player who had achieved great success throughout his 16-year career, this legal ordeal marked a significant turning point. The once celebrated athlete now faced the harsh reality of the legal system, with his reputation hanging in the balance. But this will not be the only time that Rajon Rondo will be in the news for something negative: gay bashing. On the 3rd of December 2015, the NBA court was the stage for a disturbing incident that would forever change the lives of those involved. Rajon Rondo crossed a line that should never be crossed.
Called Kennedy a gay slur, two sources told ESPN. The NBA subsequently suspended Rondo for one game.
According to the referee's report, Rondo aggressively pursued referee Bill Kennedy, unleashing a torrent of homophobic slurs that left Kennedy stunned and shaken. The incident unfolded during a heated game as tensions ran high between the players and the referees. Rondo, frustrated by a call made by Kennedy, lost control of his emotions and directed his anger toward the referee's sexual orientation. In the most despicable way, Rondo repeatedly called Kennedy a motherfucking faggot and a fucking faggot Billy. And it would turn out the referee was a gay man.
NBA referee Bill Kennedy has announced that he's gay following an incident with Rajon Rondo.
In an interview with Yahoo Sports, Kennedy declared, "I am proud to be an NBA referee, and I am proud to be a gay man. I am following in the footsteps of others who have self-identified, in the hopes that it will send a message to young men and women in sports that you must allow no one to make you feel ashamed of who you are." Kennedy's courageous statements inadvertently worsened Rajon Rondo Rondo's situation, leading to an immediate one-game suspension. Following the incident, Rondo found himself hastily issuing not just one, but two apologies on Twitter in an attempt to mitigate the fallout. First, he sent out this sorry piece of apology: "My actions during the game were out of frustration and emotion, period." When he realized people were not buying it, he followed it up with this: "They absolutely do not reflect my feelings toward the LGBT community. I did not mean to offend or disrespect anyone." But the question is, how did the words come out of your mouth without meaning to disrespect? It is obvious he clearly meant disrespect.
Called Kennedy a gay slur, two sources told ESPN. The NBA subsequently suspended Rondo for one game.
But some people did not think it was enough.
Well, I don't believe it was enough. I think he should have been suspended a minimum of 2 games, possibly 3. But that's only because the commissioner needs to send a message, and obviously 1 game doesn't suffice.
NBA Commissioner Adam Silver also weighed in on the matter, expressing his support for Kennedy and his decision to live his life openly and proudly. Silver stated, "I wholeheartedly support Bill's decision to live his life proudly and openly. Throughout his 18-year career with the league, Bill has excelled as a referee because of his passion, dedication, and courage. Those qualities will continue to serve him well, both as a game official and as a positive influence for others. While our league has made great progress, our work continues to ensure that everyone is treated with respect and dignity." Some critics question the sincerity of the NBA's response. They believe that the league was more concerned about the public fallout of a gay-bashing incident than addressing the issue head-on. Sid Ziegler, co-founder of Outsports.com, expressed his disappointment, stating, "The most disappointing and telling part of this entire episode is that the commissioner of the NBA would rather sweep the issue under the rug than deal with it publicly. He could have called Kennedy and worked with him to make this a powerful moment of education and visibility. Instead, Silver treated it with fear and secrecy. The message that sends to gay players in his league is far more damaging than what Rondo did." While there may be valid concerns about the NBA's response, it is important to acknowledge the significance of Kennedy's decision to go public. By refusing to be silenced, he forced the league to confront the issue and defend its actions. Kennedy's bravery also garnered support from unexpected quarters. Greg Popovich, coach of the San Antonio Spurs, commended Kennedy's disclosure, stating, "It showed a lot of courage." Popovich did not mince his words when he condemned Rondo's slurs. He said, "Why would I be surprised? You see it all the time. It's unfortunate. It's disgusting. Bill is a great guy. He's been a class act on and off the court. And as far as anybody's sexual orientation, it's nobody's business. It just shows ignorance to act in a derogatory way toward anybody in the LGBT community. It just doesn't make sense." But surprised? Of course not. Popovich's words resonated deeply, highlighting the need for progress in the world of sports. While the NBA may project an image of progressiveness, there is still a long way to go in eradicating homophobia from the game. Popovich's outspokenness serves as a reminder that true change requires more than just public relations efforts. Would the league rise to the occasion and take meaningful action? Or would it fall back on empty words and superficial gestures? The answer would shape the future of the NBA and its commitment to creating an inclusive and accepting environment for all players, referees, and fans. When news of the Rajon Rondo incident broke, the NBA found itself thrust into the spotlight, facing scrutiny and criticism for its handling of the situation. The league's response would be closely watched, as it had the power to send a powerful message about its commitment to inclusivity and respect.
But it was so out of line that it's hard for me to believe that Rondo only is suspended for 1 game. To me, this is much, it's got to be a 10-game suspension.
But it was so out of line that it's hard for me to believe that Rondo only is suspended for 1 game. To me, this deserves a much longer suspension. It's got to be a 10-game suspension at least. The criticism of the NBA's response was not unfounded. Many believe that the league missed an opportunity to use this incident as a catalyst for change, to educate players and fans about the importance of respect and acceptance. Instead, the NBA's actions seem to prioritize damage control and avoiding public backlash. ESPN's Bob Lay called out the NBA's handling of the situation. He stated, "The only reason we know what happened in Mexico City was because of shoe leather reporting by Yahoo Sports. The league chose to keep it quiet, give a 1-game penalty, and hope no one would notice." It's a false dichotomy to think that Silver's choices were just outing Bill Kennedy or going for the cover-up. Yet his inaction and excuses for that inaction are a part of what makes an ugly story something that could be seen as historic and even hopeful. The NBA's response also raised questions about the league's commitment to progress and equality. While the NBA has been praised for its efforts to promote inclusivity and diversity, critics argued that the Rondo incident exposed a gap between the league's public image and its actions. The incident highlighted the need for a more proactive approach to addressing issues of discrimination and hate within the NBA. The incident involving Bill Kennedy is is just one aspect of a broader issue in Rajon's career. He's been known as a fiery personality, often getting into conflicts not only with teammates, but also with coaches. Fight with coaches.
Chicago Bulls guard Rajon Rondo was suspended 1 game for conduct detrimental to the team.
During his college years at the University of Kentucky, Rajon Rondo's clashes with his coaches began to take center stage. Rondo, known for his exceptional talent and basketball IQ, often found himself at odds with his head coach, Tubby Smith. Their conflicting personalities and coaching styles created a volatile environment that led to numerous incidents and benchings. In his freshman year, Rondo averaged 25 minutes per game, showcasing his skills as a playmaker and floor general. However, even at this early stage, tensions between Rondo and Smith were evident. Rondo's strong-willed nature clashed with Smith's more authoritative coaching approach, leading to disagreements on the court. One notable incident occurred during a practice session when Rondo questioned Smith's decision-making. Rondo believed he had a better understanding of the game because he was actively playing, while Smith viewed the game from the sidelines. This clash of perspectives often resulted in heated arguments and a lack of trust between player and coach. As Rondo's sophomore year rolled around, the conflicts between him and Smith escalated. Rondo's desire for more authority and control clashed with Smith's coaching philosophy, resulting in a strained relationship. Smith, feeling the need to assert his authority, benched Rondo for 6 games, sending a clear message that he would not tolerate insubordination. Despite the benchings, Rondo's talent and impact on the court were undeniable. His ability to see passing angles that others couldn't and anticipate defensive movements made him a valuable asset to the team. However, his clashes with Smith continued to overshadow his on-court performance. Outside of his clashes with Smith, Rondo also had disagreements with other coaches, including Doug Bibby, his high school basketball coach and math teacher. Despite their close relationship, Rondo's strong personality often led to clashes with Bibby on the court. Rondo's belief that his insight as a player was superior to Bibby's perspective as a coach created tension between them. Despite the conflicts, Rondo's talent and potential were recognized by Bibby, who trusted him enough to have him run part of the team's practice when Bibby's infant son was in the ICU. Rondo's leadership and ability to rally the team were evident, but his clashes with Bibby highlighted the challenges of managing a player with such a strong personality. In retrospect, Rondo's clashes with his coaches at Kentucky foreshadowed the pattern that would continue throughout his basketball career. His desire for control and his belief in his own basketball knowledge often clashed with the authority and coaching styles of his mentors. These clashes would shape Rondo's reputation as a player who was not afraid to challenge his coaches and assert his own ideas on the court. After his college career, Rajon Rondo entered the NBA and joined the Boston Celtics, where he played alongside veterans Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen. While the team achieved great success, winning the NBA championship in 2008, Rondo's clashes with head coach Doc Rivers became more apparent as time went on. During his early years with the Celtics, Rondo's clashes with Rivers were not widely publicized. With the presence of Pierce, Garnett, and Allen, Rondo seemed to comply with the team's established hierarchy. However, as he gained more experience and confidence, his strong-willed nature began to clash with Rivers' coaching style. One incident that brought their conflicts to the forefront occurred during the 2010 NBA Finals against the Los Angeles Lakers. Rondo, known for his fierce competitiveness, dislocated his elbow in a previous game, but returned to play in Game 4. However, late in the game, Rivers benched Rondo, a decision that infuriated the young point guard. The frustration boiled over, and reports emerged that Rondo threw a water bottle through a TV during a film session, expressing his discontent with the coaching staff's decision. The strained relationship between Rondo and Rivers was a significant factor in the coach's decision to leave the Celtics and join the Los Angeles Clippers in 2013. Reports surfaced, indicating that Rivers had an intense dislike for Rondo, and their clashes had reached a breaking point. A source close to the team revealed that during a team meeting, Rondo cursed at Rivers, and the situation escalated to the point where Rivers attempted to physically confront Rondo before being separated. With Rivers' departure, the Celtics underwent a rebuilding phase, and Rondo became the team's primary star. However, his clashes with coaches continued to be a topic of discussion. When Brad Stevens took over as head coach, there was speculation about how he would handle Rondo's strong personality. Stevens expressed his support for Rondo, but it remained to be seen how their relationship would develop. Despite the uncertainties, Rondo and Stevens seemed to coexist amicably. Stevens recognized Rondo's basketball intelligence and praised his abilities on the court. However, the underlying tension between Rondo and his coaches persisted, as his desire for control and his unique approach to the game often clashed with the coaching staff's vision. In 2014, Rajon Rondo was traded to the Dallas Mavericks, a team with championship aspirations. However, his time in Dallas was marred by conflicts with head coach Rick Carlisle, further adding to his reputation as a player who clashed with his coaches. From the outset, Rondo's strong-willed nature and desire for control clashed with Carlisle's coaching style. The clashes between the two became evident evident early on as Rondo struggled to adapt to Carlisle's system and the team's established dynamics. The tension between player and coach was palpable, and it soon spilled over onto the court. One incident that highlighted the strained relationship between Rondo and Carlisle occurred during a game against the Toronto Raptors. Rondo, frustrated with the team's performance, engaged in a heated argument with Carlisle on the sidelines. The confrontation escalated to the point where Rondo had to be restrained by teammates and coaching staff, further fueling the narrative of his clashes with coaches. The conflicts between Rondo and Carlisle continued to escalate, leading to a pivotal moment in their relationship. Carlisle made the decision to bench Rondo, a move that sent shockwaves through the team and the league. Rondo's benching was seen as a clear message from Carlisle that he would not tolerate disruptive behavior and that team harmony was paramount. Despite the benching, Rondo's clashes with Carlisle persisted. Reports emerged of tense interactions between the two during practices and team meetings. Rondo's strong opinions and desire for control often clashed with Carlisle's authority, creating a toxic environment within the team. The tension between Rondo and Carlisle reached its breaking point during a game against the Toronto Raptors. Rondo, frustrated with the team's performance and his own struggles, engaged in a heated argument with Carlisle during a timeout. The confrontation became so intense that Rondo had to be escorted off the court by teammates and coaching staff, leading to his subsequent suspension for conduct detrimental to the team. The incident with Carlisle and the subsequent suspension marked a low point in Rondo's tenure with the Mavericks. It became clear that the clashes between player and coach were irreparable, and the Mavericks ultimately decided to part ways with Rondo. Rondo's time with the Mavericks highlighted the challenges of managing a player with such a strong personality. His clashes with Carlisle and the subsequent fallout showcased the detrimental impact that conflicts between a star player and a head coach can have on team chemistry and performance. Regardless, it cannot be understated the impact that Rajon Rondo made in the NBA. Rajon Rondo career. Rajon Rondo's journey to NBA stardom began long before he stepped foot on a professional court. Born on February 22, 1986, in Louisville, Kentucky, Rondo showed glimpses of his exceptional talent from a young age. But it wasn't just his skills that set him apart. It was his unique personality and attitude that would both propel him to greatness and create controversy throughout his career. In high school, Rondo's rebellious nature was already evident. He had a habit of ignoring his coach's play calls, believing that he knew the game better than anyone else. This attitude, while bold and self-assured, would prove to be a double-edged sword for Rondo in the years to come. Despite his on-court brilliance, Rondo's academic performance was less than stellar. He struggled as a student, but his basketball IQ was off the charts. He viewed his classmates as competition and even studied math flashcards to outperform them. Rondo spent 2 years at the University of Kentucky, where he continued to showcase his exceptional skills and basketball IQ. Although he was a late first-round pick in the 2006 NBA draft, being selected 21st overall by the Phoenix Suns, his true potential was recognized when he was traded to the Boston Celtics in a deal that brought Kevin Garnett to the team. In Boston, Rondo quickly established himself as one of the best passers in the league. He possessed a unique court vision and an uncanny ability to find his teammates in the right spots. Rondo wasn't just a playmaker, he was an old-school point guard who understood the importance of getting his teammates involved. During his time in Boston, Rondo achieved remarkable success. He made the All-Star team 4 consecutive times from 2010 to 2013, solidifying his status as one of the league's elite players. Rondo's defensive prowess also earned him all defensive honors 4 times, showcasing his versatility and impact on both ends of the court. But it was in 2008 that Rondo reached the pinnacle of success. Alongside Garnett, Pierce, Allen, and a talented Celtics roster, he helped bring the NBA championship back to Boston. Rondo's contributions were invaluable, as he played a vital role in orchestrating the team's offense and making key plays when it mattered most. However, as Rondo's career progressed, his high basketball IQ started to backfire. Reports emerged of heated arguments between Rondo and his coaches, most notably Doc Rivers.
He and Doc Rivers got in huge fights about running the team. It was so bad, Rondo would cry after arguments.
Despite the challenges, Rondo's talent and impact on the game were undeniable. He possessed a unique ability to elevate his performance in the postseason, earning him the moniker Playoff Rondo. In 2010, he delivered a jaw-dropping performance against LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers, dropping 29 points, 13 assists, and 18 rebounds in a game that left the basketball world in awe. In 2012, Rondo once again displayed his competitive fire during the height of Linsanity when Jeremy Lin event took the NBA by storm, Rondo took it personally. He responded with a remarkable performance, recording 18 points, 20 assists, and 17 rebounds against the New York Knicks. Rondo's ability to rise to the occasion in big moments solidified his reputation as a clutch player. However, as the Celtics core aged and the team underwent changes, Rondo's future in Boston became uncertain. The departure of key players like Pierce and Garnett signaled a new era for the franchise. Eventually, Rondo was traded to the Dallas Mavericks, marking the beginning of a turbulent chapter in his career. Initially, there was hope that Rondo's arrival would elevate the team's performance. However, his time in Dallas would be marred by clashes with head coach Rick Carlisle and a deteriorating relationship with his teammates. Before the trade, the Mavericks had a stellar record of 19-8 and boasted the most efficient offense in the NBA. However, once Rondo joined the team, their chemistry began to unravel. Rondo's refusal to adhere to Carlisle's play calls and his insistence on doing things his own way created tension on the court. One particular incident highlighted the strained relationship between Rondo and Carlisle. During a game against the Toronto Raptors,
Rondo once again ignored his coach's play call. When it failed, Carlisle called a timeout and yelled, "I'll effing call the plays." So Rondo shouts at the coach, who tells him to sit the F down.
Such clashes between players and coaches are not uncommon in the NBA. However, Rondo's behavior crossed the line, as millionaire players are not typically spoken to in such a manner. The incident left the Mavericks in disarray, and their once promising season took a nosedive. Despite the team's struggles, Rondo's true colors emerged during the playoffs.
But during the playoffs, Rondo got his payback. He was so upset, he quit during a game.
To add insult to injury, Rondo's teammates voted against giving him his playoff bonus, a clear indication of the fractured relationships within the team. His time in Dallas had come to a bitter end, leaving many questioning his attitude and ability to be a team player. Rondo's next stop was with the Chicago Bulls, where he hoped to find a fresh start. However, his tenure in Chicago was marked by more controversy. After a disappointing loss, Jimmy Butler and Dwyane Wade publicly criticized their younger teammates, expressing their frustration with their lack of dedication. In a surprising turn of events, Rondo defended the young players, going against his veteran teammates. "My vets would never go to the media. They would come to the team. My vets didn't pick and choose when they wanted to bring it. They brought it every time they stepped in the gym, whether it was practice or a game. They didn't take days off." While Rondo's defense of the young players may have seemed admirable, it only added fuel to the already toxic situation within the Bulls locker room. Ultimately, the Bulls chose to part ways with Rondo, deeming the situation too toxic to salvage. It was clear that his relationships with teammates had once again soured, leaving a trail of broken bonds in his wake. One of the most notable feuds in Rondo's career was with his former teammate Ray Allen. Allen had been a mentor to Rondo during his early years, teaching him the ways of a professional. However, as Rondo grew older, his attitude towards Allen changed. In 2009, rumors circulated that Allen and Rondo would be traded to the Phoenix Suns. Concerned about the potential trade, Allen reached out to Rondo, asking him to mend fences with Doc Rivers and the general manager. While Allen's intentions were genuine, Rondo took offense, feeling that Allen was undermining him. In a heated argument, Rondo accused Allen of hating him and even claimed that he had carried the team to the 2008 championship. The rest of the team was taken aback by Rondo's accusations, leading to a deep divide within the locker room. Rondo's refusal to let go of his anger towards Allen resulted in a strained relationship that persists to this day. But now that there are talks that Rondo is exploring the possibility of dabbling into the coaching world, can Rondo find redemption and success as a coach, or will his past continue to haunt him? That brings us to the end of this video. For more videos like this, click on the cards on your screen.